First things first, just tell us about you, like a little background brief.
So my name is Melissa Yu. I'm 28 years old, and I guess a bit about me is I currently run an events business. I run an events company based in Melbourne, and we are the founders of Australia's largest streetwear expo called Ego Expo. When I left school at 18, I guess the world was my oyster. You leave high school, you leave year 12, and you kind of exit this bubble. And that was when I met Angus McIntosh. So I want to talk a little bit about Angus McIntosh because he was my first love, and we met when we were 18. I had boarded a midnight train to go towards the city to hit a club on King Street in Melbourne, and he was on that train as well. So being pretty confident and loud and bubbly, me and my girlfriends went up to him and I asked him to open my cruiser bottle. He happily obliged, and we both knew that cruiser bottle was a twist top. But that was kind of the beginning of everything. It was young love, it was instant, it was electric, and we spent the majority of our 6 years going into adulthood together. So between 18 and 23, Gus and I started a life together. We did the firsts of everything together. We moved in together, we bought our first cars together, we got our first jobs together. He helped me graduate uni with an honours degree. I wouldn't have been able to do it without him supporting me and being by my side for that. And we travelled together, and I think we grew up together as well. When we met, we were really into the party scene and we were having heaps of social friends. But then as we grew up, we really got into our fitness and we got into careers and we got into saving for a house and things like that. January 13th, 2014, I'll never forget that day because we had just come back from Cambodia on our overseas trip. It was a really, really hot day that day, and I set off to work for my first day of work, and Angus also set off to work for his first day of work. He was a labourer. Being a labourer, it's really labour intensive, and he had to work 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. basically 6 days a week, and you got no holidays off. You didn't get an Easter holiday or you didn't get anything off until Christmas, and Christmas over to New Year's you'd get the 10 days off, and then that would be it, and then you're back to work. So financially we were getting quite well off. He was earning 6 figures, but I think the work and being around that also can take a toll on you. So over the 10 days we went over to Cambodia, and I actually let him let loose a bit. So normally I'd probably put the reins on it, but I knew how hard he had worked. So we partied a lot in Cambodia. It was New Year's, and we drank a lot. We consumed prescription medication as well. And yeah, so it was a really good holiday. I'd actually pin that as one of our fondest memories, and actually being able to just be and just to escape from reality for a bit. So January 13th, 2014, it was a Monday. We had both set off to work, and he had gotten quite sick from Cambodia. So Gus is someone that is really extreme. He likes to try everything, and he'll eat the spiders and the crickets off the cart, much to my distaste. But yeah, his Western body didn't actually like that either. So he got quite sick in Cambodia. Coming back, he was still quite sick with a stomach bug. So that day he had messaged me and told me that he had left work to go to the doctors. And it was nothing. I read the message while I was at work. I was working in a bistro at the time, at a cafe. And yeah, I thought nothing of it. And then 4 o'clock he had messaged me again and said, I've gone to the doctors, I'm driving back home. I can barely see. Again, thought nothing of it, was quite busy at work as well, so I just left it as that. I then finished my shift, and I went out with a couple of friends for dinner as well. And by the time that I got home, it was about 10 p.m. I think I went to message him just to check in during dinner, but then I put my phone down again because I got busy or distracted with conversations. 10 o'clock, I walked up the driveway and I saw his car in the driveway in front of the garage, and I walked into the front door. His medical certificate was on the coffee table to my left, and I walked up the stairs to our master bedroom. I turned on the light, and to my surprise, Gus wasn't there, which was really strange because I thought he would be asleep by now because he had work early in the morning. So I thought maybe he'd gone to the boys' house that lives down the road. We have a bunch of friends there. So I gave his mobile a call, and to my surprise again, I heard his mobile ring. The ringing I felt like it was coming from the car, so I walked down, I ran down and tried to check his car, and the car was locked, but the phone ringing wasn't coming from there. It was actually coming from the garage. And to get into the garage, I had to go back into the house and through the laundry out the back courtyard and into the side door of the garage. And I don't know when the phone stopped ringing, or I don't know if it was my dog barking, or I don't know if it was the ambulance siren, or my screaming, or the phone calls, but I found the source of the ringing. And Gus took his life that day. And I guess that was the fork in the road for me, that experience, and finding him and having my future and my expectations, I guess, taken away from me without a say or a choice, has led me to sort of be in the roles that I am now. And it's led me to be the woman that I am now. And so that was 5 years ago. And I think I've done a lot of work with self-care. I've done a lot of work with love. I've done a lot of work with advocating for mental health and suicide prevention in the last 5 years. And I think I'll continue to do that for as long as I can, because mental health is so important. Suicide prevention is so important. It's the community's responsibility. I think every single one of us has a responsibility and a duty of care to the people that not only that we love, but just anyone, strangers, friends, anyone on the internet. I think it's really important to be kind and show empathy and love.